Over 1 billion naira proceeds of corruption has been recovered from individuals in the south region of the country between January and September this year, with 24 convictions. The zonal head of the anti-graft agency, Mr. Ishak Saliu, said this in Port Harcourt when some Niger Delta youths took a protest to the Commission's office over alleged lopsidedness in the anti-corruption campaign. Mr. Saliu insisted that the EFCC will stop at nothing in its efforts to recover stolen funds.
What we are saying, the operatives of the law should operate the law. The operatives of the law should operate the law within the confines of the law. They should not oppress the law, seeing some persons as lesser Nigerians and higher Nigerians.
There is nothing like selective in the cases of EFCC. We are professionals to the core. Once an allegation is made, before somebody is even invited, the invitation of somebody is the last aspect or last leg of our cases. Bank documents and things that we need to inquire will have been gotten. Port Harcourt Zonal Office alone this year has 24 convictions, recovered over 1 billion naira.
Meanwhile, the federal government has restated its resolve to ease the process of registering businesses as part of its drive to woo investors into the country. The Deputy Director in charge of investment promotion at the Ministry of Trade and Investment, Mr. Rufai Tokumbo, explained that this is targeted at boosting the nation's infrastructure. He was speaking at a forum in Abuja where he called on Chinese businesses to set up production facilities in the country.
Nigeria's population of over 160 million people is said to be in dire need of 8 billion naira annually to bridge its infrastructural gap. Statistics also show that only 18% of the nation's federal roads are well paved. The need to bridge this gap is what has informed this meeting organized by the Nigeria-China Business Council.
We urge the investors from Jiangxi province, China, to come and set up production facilities in the country. This would ensure value addition, creation of jobs, and enhanced development in the country. We equally see you as one of the few that can assist us to bridge the huge financial gap, especially in the development of infrastructure.
While the new relationship between Nigeria and China is expected to be beneficial to both countries, representatives of state government give assurances on the ease of doing business.
We are also welcome to Katsina because it has a lot of infrastructure on electricity supplies. We have the 33 kVA, we have the 215, we have the 313. So whichever power investors are able to produce will easily be injected into the main national grid. We have set up a lot of small-scale industries, and we have government incentives in this area.
Besides helping to bridge the nation's infrastructural gap, which has remained underdeveloped for some time now, the New Deal will provide an avenue for technology transfer, job creation, and Chinese investments in Nigeria.
Let's get more business news now with Anne Mawudu.
Welcome to Business News. Oil prices fell today by 4%, with reports that the world's largest oil producer, that Saudi Arabia, doesn't expect the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries to reach an agreement when it meets later this month in Algiers. Earlier today, Saudi Arabia had offered to reduce production, but that's if rival Iran agreed to freeze its own output this year. With this previous offer, Brent and West Texas Intermediate would have had their largest weekly gain in more than 1 month. Brent crude was down 3.5% at $45.98 a barrel. OPEC members, including non-member producer Russia, will meet at the International Energy Forum in Algeria from September the 26th to the 28th. About 10 million Nigerians who have never paid taxes in their lives may start to perform that civic duty from December to 2016. This is according to the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Mr. Babatunde Fowler. 700,000 organizations that have never paid corporate tax have now been discovered, and they are in the dragnets of the Inland Revenue Service. Mr. Fowler says tax inspectors are currently updating databases, registering businesses and individuals, and tracking them down to check that they comply with the directives. A Pan-African securities trading project will soon come on stream as the African Securities Exchange Association prepares to link 4 pilot markets for cross-border trading. The president of the association, Mr. Oscar Onyema, shares the updates with VOA Channel's television business correspondent Jill Meladrino on the sidelines of the just concluded Africa Investment Summit in New York.
Right now, those efforts are very prevalent in a sub-regional perspective, so West Africa, East Africa, South Africa. But as here, the African Securities Exchanges Association, which I happen to be the president, is driving a Pan-African linkage project. We are doing it in partnership with the Africa Development Bank, and the idea is to link Johannesburg, Lagos, Nairobi, Casablanca, 4 pilot exchanges. We've already started working with 3 other exchanges to come onto the pilot program. Between the 7 exchanges, we cover 90% plus of the liquidity on the continent. Correct. And so when these exchanges are linked together, you would be able to have a Pan-African view of liquidity and access these markets through one pipe.
Today's session at the Nigerian Stock Exchange closed positive as the all-share index rebounded by 0.29%, sustaining the bullish sentiment in 2 weeks. Let's now join Millicent Walker for more.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. The local bourse rebounded by 0.29% at the close of Friday's trading session, following price rally by some blue-chip industrial stocks on the market, while the market capitalization rose from 9.67 trillion to 9.70 trillion naira. In price performance, 7-Up, Akumu Oil and Cadbury emerged as the top 3 advancers from a list of 22 gainers, while Better Glass, Northern Nigeria, Flour Mills and Caverton were the top 3 among 15 losers. The day's transaction yielded a total turnover of 265 million shares worth 1.55 billion naira in 3,136 deals. The most actively traded stocks were FCMB, Fidelity Bank and Zenith Bank. And that's the Stock Market Report. I am Millicent Walker.
Thanks a lot, Millicent. While falling oil prices took its toll on some equities today as Wall Street closed in the red about an hour ago, while European stocks fell on disappointing manufacturing data. Let's check out the numbers. And that's business news on the last trading day of the week. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm Anne Nwaudu. Back to you, Amarachi.
The African Export and Import Bank has given thumbs up to Arik Air for its role in promoting intra-African trade. The president of the bank, Mr. Benedict Orama, made this known during a visit to the headquarters of the airline in Lagos, southwest Nigeria. The chairman of Arik Air, Johnson Arumemi Ikide, says he's excited that the partner bank chose to visit right before the airline's 10th anniversary.
Board members of the African Export and Import Bank based in Cairo, Egypt, make their way into the headquarters of Arik Air in Lagos. It's a strategic visit to a company the financial institution helped to birth 10 years ago.
You gave us a helping hand. And we're very grateful and we're excited to have you here because it's appropriate for you to come and take stock of the company you've nurtured for that period of time.
Then it's time to take a look at the facilities. From the Operational Control Center to the hangar and the technical store, it's a story of how departments interact to drive Nigeria's largest carrier. When the visit is over, both parties still look forward to a rewarding partnership.
We are promoting intra-African trade. We regard ARIC as a strategic partner in promoting intra-African trade because of the role they are playing in connecting people across Africa, in connecting and making sure goods are delivered across Africa. So we want to make sure that they are strengthened to continue to do that.
The summary of what has happened, and they too have their facts and figures. And the new and the board acquainted themselves with all our operations, the difficulties, challenges, and all the rest. And look at the goals they gave to us to meet. Like he said, the bank is set up to promote intra-African trade, to connect people and goods. And so we've met that extremely well.
ARIC Air operates a fleet of 28 aircraft and currently serves 18 destinations across Nigeria and has Johannesburg, London, and New York as part of its international operations.
The sit-at-home order issued by the indigenous people of Biafra has been largely unsuccessful in southeast states. The order was met by apathy in Abia State as people went about their normal activities. Residents ignored the order in Umuahia, the state capital, and it was also poor compliance in Enugu State. The reverse was, however, the case in Anambra, where businesses, social activities and vehicular movement were restricted. Awka, the capital of Anambra State in Nigeria's southwest region. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, had warned schools, institutions and other businesses not to engage in any activity. The warning is heeded to a large extent. Commuters, for instance, are mostly stranded and transporters feel the pain.
About 2 days ago, they said that something, my some issue is short. So nobody wants to die. And I didn't inform anybody not to come work. It's when you come, you don't see who you carry. You go back with your motor. So people are not coming.
Unlike the motor parks, however, civil servants are at their duty posts. The State Commissioner for Information, Mr. Tony Nnachita, acknowledges that business has been slow in town, but is grateful that the sit-at-home order was not violent.
We have heard that all is quiet across Anambra so far. The government is determined to have security of life and property. One of our cardinal programs. We don't want it disrupted. We've sought advice from community leaders. We've sought advice from security agencies and say, please keep Anambra safe, keep Anambra calm.
At the Anambra State Police Command, the Commissioner for Police says he's in touch with his commanders with their various teams on effective patrols. He says that calm pervades the state.
There's no cause for alarm. People are going about their lawful businesses. Nobody is being molested. Onitsha is peaceful and calm. So also New and all those other places. The so-called flashpoints are not being threatened. And again, I am assuring you that people should go about their normal duties.
Mpo, the major business hub in Idemili local government area, is like a ghost town. This security patrol van has been deployed to avert violence. Next on the news at 10, Spanish court reopens fraud case against Barcelona's Brazilian striker Neymar over his transfer to the club side 3 years ago. That'll be in sports news. Do join us again.